Hello, it's Elaine with Elaine's Custom Cards, and today we're going to make this card, and I'm using this is how it looks on the inside. Let me do this. Okay, what I'm using is the Hues of Happiness DSP, and this is the back side of the one that has the flowers on it. Those small flowers. So what I did was cut a piece of the Designer Series paper. I cut it 4 by 5 1/4, and then I sliced off a little piece that is this is 5 1/4 by 1 7/8, and then this piece here is 2 1/8 inches wide. I'll show you why here. First thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and glue this down. And I wanted an even amount of white space around my card. And what I did was I took a piece of thick basic white, scored it at, let's see, I scored it at 2 1/8 and 4 1/4, and then did a mountain fold like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue this piece. I wanted it to flow. That's why I did it the way I did, so it would flow over. If that makes any sense. It's not probably so much of a big deal with this particular paper, unless you took this piece right here, put it on, and then you had this piece. Now that would not look good to me, because this is from a different part of the paper. It was like this. Okay, and I'm taking the piece from the bottom section here. Okay, hope that makes sense. And we'll go ahead and glue this piece on to this side. And what I'm going to do, after I glue this down, see, this piece I wanted to make sure that I had the same amount of white space on the outer edges. And then it's going to close like this, and it looks like it's the same. Okay? Okay, then I took these pieces. This is Night of Navy. You can use whatever color you want. That's just what I picked. And this piece is 4 1/4 by 3. Okay. And then I took this piece of Whisper White, and it is, not Whisper White, Basic White, 4 1/4 or 4 1/8 by 2 7/8. Then I stamped, and I'll show you how I did this. I used my Stamparatus. And I'm using, just so you know, the Summer Shadows dies, the Shaded Summer Stamp Set, and the Sentiment from Flowers of Friendship. Okay, let's start here with the flower. So let's put this under here. My next card, I'm going to use these colors. So this one I stamped the flower in Melon Mambo, and then I colored the leaves in with the, see, this is light Granny Apple Green, just so it'd give it some little color there. And then the centers of the flowers I colored in with dark So Saffron. Okay, so let me show you how I did this. Voila! here's my piece of white, which is this. And I'm going to stamp it, but on this one I'm going to use the Fresh Freesia, like this card right here. Okay? So let's go ahead and get this stamped. And the reason I'm using my Stamparatus is in case I need to stamp it again, it's all lined up. Like this. Okay? See, and I think it's kind of light, so we can do it again. Let's get it a little bit darker. You can have it as light or as dark as you like. I decided I wanted it darker. See, I like that a whole lot better. Okay, now I'm going to remove this and clean it in a little bit. And now I'm going to add this one. Okay, and I want the sentiment stamped on there, and I stamped it with Night of Navy. The reason I'm doing it another reason I'm doing it this way is so if I want to make several birthday or thank you cards, it's all set up in here, and I just have to put the card in there and stamp each one of these things just like so. So there's that. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to set this aside. What I did after I did this was I took, I'm kind of jumping around a little bit, but I took my die, this particular one, and I die cut it out with my die cutting machine. I just die cut that out, okay? I colored it first with my green and my yellow, and then I die cut it. Okay, I'm going to set this aside so it can dry, and then I'm going to take this, I'm going to set it in here because I'm going to stamp the inside sentiment. Go ahead and put that there. Let me clean this off right here because I don't want ink on everything. That's pretty dark. So you're going to take and you're going to clean off the happy birthday, okay? And I've already set this other one on here, so I'm going to turn this around because I've got this one set up to stamp right there. Okay? I like to get all my stamping done first. So we're going to use the Night of Navy again. Mine is pretty juicy because I just re-inked it. And I've got it set up to stamp right here. Bring that down and stamp. Perfect. So you can do a whole bunch of these, and it's very fast. So we'll take that off and let that dry because it's wet. Close our stamp pad and clean that off so I don't get it all over myself. So I have a bad habit of doing that. End up with ink on everything. So if we clean it off, and then we'll set this aside. Make sure you don't knock these things together because they'll break. So we'll move this out of the way. Okay. And we'll finish putting our card together. The happy birthday's right here. And then this was the stamp, the flower that I used. And then I'm going to use this one, which is this thing right here. And then this was the sentiment I used on here. So, the other thing I did on this card was I stamped that right there, just for something on the inside besides blank. So we'll go ahead and do that while we've got this open. And I go ahead and do this with the Melon Mambo. So I stamped it once, and then I stamped it again, kind of like so. So it kind of goes like that. So it's just something extra on the inside. You can put that wherever you want. So that's that. I'll clean that off in a minute. So we'll set this aside because that part of it's done. Now we'll work on this. I put dimensionals on the back of this, a little strip of the side. I used both sizes. I used the minis and the regulars. And this is just a little strip of the side here of the dimensionals. So let's go ahead and glue this on first to here. Go around the outside edge and kind of around the flower, because you don't want that stuff to come up. Just like so. And then you're going to center this on your Night of Navy piece. Just like so. Okay. Turn it over and just kind of go like that. Now, you're going to want to make sure that that's dry. Go ahead and do that again. Now the way I put this on, because I want it centered. Make sure that's dry. Okay. You're going to want to do this again. Okay. I set it on here. I want it in the very center of my card. So then I flipped it over, centered it. You only want glue on this half. So you get it centered on there where you want it, and put your glue on. Just on the one side. Okay. Flip it over and center it. Just like so. Okay? Just like that. Okay, once you've got that centered and even, that's pretty good. Then you're going to take your die cut, take all your little backings off. And you're going to center this right inside here. And the reason I did it this way is I wanted that little hint of blue, that Night of Navy, to kind of show up. Because you can kind of see it. It looks like a shadow, kind of. That's why I did that. And then I took my Wink of Stella, and without squeezing it too much, I just colored in my flowers. Okay. When you do this, especially with this Yellow Mambo, see how, I don't know if you can tell, but it kind of shades it a little bit. So kind of avoid the yellow unless you want pink in your yellow. And I just put Wink of Stella on here, and it shaded in the white. It didn't do that with the Fresh Freesia one. I'm not sure why. This is a really strong color, and it does blend the color across the white. I like that. So I just did all the flowers like so, and the bud. And then I wiped this on a piece of paper to get the pink off. Then I went ahead and did the green, the leaves. like so. Wipe this off. And then I did the centers. Probably get a little bit of pink in there, but not too much. Anyway, okay, so there's that. Always store your Wink of Stella with the cap up so it doesn't leak out. Okay, and once I did that, I actually, on this card, I used the Retired In Colors jewels because I still had a lot of them, but on this card I'm going to use these new iridescent rhinestones that's in the current catalog. So let's get something to get those off, and we'll put these kind of in the same place that I did those. I'll put one right here. These are a little bit bigger than those others. And that's your card in the Melon Mambo. This is the Melon Mambo one, and then this is the Fresh Freesia one. So you'll have to let me know which one you like better. I just thought they made really pretty birthday cards, but you could make them thank you cards, sympathy cards, whatever you want. And you could probably decorate this if you wanted to. I just liked it this way, kind of simple. So I hope you like this card. And remember, this month until May 31st, if you're interested in becoming getting a discount on your products, you can become a demonstrator for $99. You get $125 worth of product, plus until the end of this month, Stampin' Up! Is sending you $66.50 worth of in-color products. So go to my blog, the little, or my website, elainescustomcards.stampinup.net, and there should be some details there. There's details on my blog. If you click the little down arrow, you'll find a link to my blog, and then there's a picture that you can click on. It tells you what the free products are, and then there's a Shop Now button and a Join Now button. So that's probably the easiest way to get to my online store. And let's see, what else did I want to tell you? I can't think of what else I was going to tell you. But anyway, this is your card for today, and I appreciate... Oh, I know what I was going to tell you. All the instructions, all the supply list for this card will be on my blog as well. So, you have a blessed day and have fun stamping.